Welcome to the Get Down podcast, where today's a different one. Paolo is still sleeping, so I'm sobbing, and I'm here with Frantik.
Hey, what's up, Paula? How you doing?
Not Paolo, man. Anyway, this episode is brought to you by our friends Dragon Energy. The power is yours. 902 Lit and Mezcal Agua Santa.
All together.
So, we thought this episode we should we usually have guests, but we should do something different. And it's something that we think just, arts, especially creatives, because they are kind of afraid of doing it. It's like, I just want to make my music. I just want to create my art, whatever it is. And then they forget that, you have to get people to know you are doing this thing. So today we're talking about marketing, and especially in the day of social media, what the best way to approach it is.
Yeah. So basically, I've been studying a lot of this stuff over the Christmas break, trying to figure out how to market myself. Mm-hmm. And I think a big thing is understanding what you want to put forward as an artist, and understanding what stories you want to tell.
Yeah.
And so a big thing is just knowing what you want to do as an artist and what message you want to put forward. Mm-hmm. Before you invest any money, you need to know that for a fact, because you don't want to commit to a brand that you don't believe in 3 months down the line, 5 months down the line. So for me, for example, my job, I work with kids for the most part. So a lot of my stuff is revolves around empathy and mental health. And so that has become my brand. Mm-hmm. So I need to figure out how to implement my brand and tell that story depending on the song I'm putting out. So
I noticed around the beginning of the year, a couple of weeks ago, you started sharing these little clips, these little videos of just it's okay to talk about your mental health. Is that part of what came out from you deciding what your brand was?
Yeah. I think it was coming to terms with what my music and art meant. I was just before I'd just be I just want to create. Mm-hmm. And put my art out, and then you guys can decide what it means. But then I feel that story isn't really being told. I need to be the director. I need to be the artistic director. I need to be involved in all of the aspects of what my brand is. Mm-hmm. So so basically, if you're starting a brand, you need to figure out what your strengths are. So if you're funny, use that. Do a lot of comedic stuff around your music. If you have something to teach someone, use that, because everyone wants to learn. So if you can teach people and then connect that to your art, that's great too. So It's just a matter of knowing what your strengths are, and then knowing who's gonna resonate with your music.
How do you, decide who your music or whatever it is you're creating is for? How do you decide, these are the type of people I think will like this thing I'm creating?
Well, you got to put it out there first, and then ask for honest feedback, and be able to take criticism. Which artists suck at.
Yes, they do.
Terrible at
it. My music is number one in the world.
Yeah, I'm fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's and hearing people's opinions and take it with a grain of salt. Some people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
That is true. That is true. That is very true.
Yeah, but if you hear the same thing 5-6 times, it might be true.
Yeah.
There might be a grain of truth in there.
Yeah.
So it's and then that those people, you're not trying to reach those people too, right? So ask people who like your shit, and tell them to be honest, because if you say, be honest with me, that'll give them, they won't feel like they're being mean, right? So you want that honesty, because you need to hear the truth to grow.
Yeah, but okay, so now I think for me, I want two things. If you say I don't like your film or whatever, tell me why.
Yeah.
Like that part is shit or this person was, but don't say I don't like it. Like, give me a reason why, Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, if you tell me it's trash, that doesn't mean shit to me, right? Tell me why it's trash.
Yes,
Go
yes.
into detail.
Right,
I don't
right.
get like. I mean, I have no like. I'll hear you out.
Yeah.
And if a bunch of people say the same thing,
Yeah.
then I'll know it's true.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if one person says it, then you're probably wrong.
most likely, yeah. Okay, so you decide, okay, this is what I want to do. This is who I am. This is, and then you put it out, and then you get the feedback. And then you're like, okay, these are the people that my music is for. What next? Oh, actually, before we get to that, what are some ways that you actually put your song out there or whatever you are creating?
So I use DistroKid because it's the cheapest. I'm sure the other distributors are great too. They probably all have their ups and downs, but for the most part, DistroKid's been good. So basically, before you should try to put a song out 4 to 6 weeks before your release date, so that you're eligible for editorial playlists. They're very hard to get into, but basically, that. Also, make sure you split it out between 3 or 4 weeks, because I just found out this yesterday that Release Radar will only hold your song in for a month.
Wow.
So it's, and Release Radar is probably like the biggest
right
editorial, I'm not editorial, but like algorithmic playlist that you want to get onto.
Once you, like, especially with Spotify, depending on how you use it, like, I try to confuse the algorithm, because I'll listen to like Fela, then I'll listen to fucking death metal.
Yeah.
So it's like, who is this person listening to? So for me to like find new songs, because I'm always trying to find new songs, like Release Radar is great, and also my Discover Weekly. But what I found out is if you pre-save someone's music, it puts it in your Discover Weekly too.
Yeah. Oh, right on. Yeah. So yeah.
So like you can do that pre-save on DistroKid.
Yeah, you can as soon as you upload something on DistroKid, like within a day, you can get a pre-save link.
Oh.
And then you can put that out.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you use DistroKid or whatever. I know some people also use United Masters or something like this. Anyway, so you put it out there.
I think like if you're going into like straight up hip hop, they have like links to like video games and stuff like that. I've heard. So I think if you're doing like straight up hip hop, that might be a better. Like, I don't really know.
Okay.
Much,
yeah. So like now you put it out. And then you get the feedback, then what?
So once you get enough feedback, you start kind of tackling who your audience is. And then once you know who your audience is, you start finding similar artists to you. You start finding out what their labels are. And then you start making those connections. So you link up your Instagram to all these artists that have a similar style to you. You find out who their friends are, and like you really, really dig in deep.
Wait. You say you link your Instagram to those artists? How?
So not like just through through commenting.
So
So
gotcha.
you go find similar artists, you comment on their stuff, you start getting engaged with their fan base. Just like they start seeing your face more and more. And then eventually when you put your song out, and like it resonates with their fan base, you can like start, getting linked up with their fan base.
Okay. So you do that. Now talk me through TikTok, cause like I noticed, first off, like whenever you do your release, like they do the number, so clearly you're doing something right. But then the second thing is like when you started doing TikTok, your Instagram numbers started going up too. Yeah. What is the link between the two? And how did you...
I think the duet, I didn't realize the duets were a thing until I started looking into it recently. And there's so many great producers on TikTok, and linking up those duets where like I can create a bunch of different content out of a song by doing different versions of them through duets. So I would like, so it's not just me putting out the cover like 5 times and then spamming you. It's always different. So people don't get bored.
But how
Unless
do
they
you,
do.
how do you with the TikTok thing? And I'm trying to really understand this TikTok. How do you do the duets and stuff? Like, do you have to follow the person? Also, how do you find the producers? Because I went on TikTok, like I finally got it just to understand it. But like, I don't, unless I'm doing it wrong, I don't, like you can't search. It just says for you and then it just gives you random shit.
Yeah, you can look through the hashtags.
Oh.
So they'll have like producer hashtags.
Okay.
And then also just like scrolling, like I'll be like, oh, like that producer's awesome.
Yeah.
I usually tend to use the same like 5 or 6 producers. I try to find some like more underground and unknown ones because then you're more likely to make a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Especially if their stuff's good. Like the amount of the thing with TikTok is the amount of followers you has nothing to do with talent whatsoever. Like there's no link. Whereas like with Instagram and stuff like that, there's like, okay, eventually like this person's like built up the thing. With TikTok, it's just random. It makes no sense. Like there's some producers that have like, 50 followers and their beats are fire.
Yeah.
So find those producers because they will hear you out and they'll be like, wow, that was great.
Yeah.
And then you create a relationship.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you hit up a bigger producer, they're not gonna see you because 1,000 people are making that song.
Yeah.
Or using
I see
that.
what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. Okay.